recorded maybe 30 minutes this morning and forgot to press the recording button. We're doing it over again. Okay, this is a short at 30. This is a short at 30 on aggressive down ticking. It looks like I pull it. I don't pull it, which means I kept the trade on too long, and then it went against me immediately and stopped me out on inside prints. I don't even know if that's worth writing about. Yeah, cognitive denial and the inside prints don't lie is what I wrote about when I first reviewed this. What I did there was it went through, price action changed, and I didn't want to adjust to the regime or read the tape at all. So I was like, whatever, I'll just leave it on. That's what I mean by sleep inertia. It's 5:06. I got up at 4:30, and so the brain takes 30 to 60 minutes to boot up. So I'm just gonna have to wake up earlier or figure something out. This is a push into 3075, which I pulled. I'm quiet because I'm tired. 30 evens. Notice how there's still upticking, which is bearish for me. It looks like we're going to traverse the value area. This is me ignoring the inside prints here. We come down and they can't hit 29.75. It's at evens now and it's sticking there and they're still upticking. I get out, rightfully so. I should have gotten out when price was doing this to 25. I didn't, and I paid the price. So the first two trades, which I've already written down, um, are exactly that, as ignoring tape. And the statement, "the inside prints don't lie," came from the end of the session today when I stopped trying to game theorize the bid ask and just watched the game theorized the queue and just watched the bid ask flicker back and forth. It was also a very strange day to trade. The ranges were really wide. We come back up to 27.75, and we're still down ticking to 27.50, using that as a floor. I get out for what looks like a tick loss, which is good because there's no upticking to 28 at all. And now the bid ask sticks at 28. Well, the price does, but the bid ask lowers. So that was a great example of proper risk management. Even though the trade was poor, I got out of it for a tick loss instead of four ticks. Now we're back in the value area. I pull on 27.50. We're just thickening out the distribution. Sorry, I'm watching it again because I'm out of it. 27.75, and then we uptick. 26.50. It's the same return pullback trade. There's 18. It fills on the market. It fills on a market order, right? And then the bid thickens up, and they're still upticking, and we sit at 26.75, which tells me it's bullish. I'm just watching the movement of inside prints now. 25 holds. It looks like the queue on the sell is going to empty, and the bid ask is holding there. They're sitting on it. The bid is thickening, and the ask kind of looks fake. Sellers launch an attack there in the inside print spam, and then it dries up. They pull immediately. We go lower. I widen my stop because I want to see how this is going to play out. We stopped at 27.50, and we're in the thin spots of the profile. The odds that we revert back to something like 28 is high, but I'm really just widening my stop here to watch the tape play out and try my best to get a good exit. So, Judge, I said this in the first review. 26.75. Notice how we're sitting there, and they're asking lower, and there's no uptick to 27 even that sits. That's bad, right? That tells me we're moving lower. And then 27 sticks, and I end up winning the trade. I wrote about this. I stole. Patience is an important trait many people don't have. They trade too much and don't pick their spot selectively enough. So, and that, watching the tape actually worked out for me in that case. If I had tried to micromanage, I would have lost the trade. Notice how it's just price fluctuating between VPOC. And then I try to catch a cheeky. Realistically, this should be at 31.25. So this is a poor entry. This is a very poor place to trade. And then tape explodes, and I think it's because of some news. It might be. A bunch of people got liquidated, I know that much. And we build a thicker distribution higher, a longer term that's bullish, of course. We're holding 39 evens here. There's interest. There's interest on the inside prints from both sides. And notice how we come down to 38.75 and we immediately tick back up. Right. That's good. That's good news. And then it moves in my favor. 38 would be a place to long. This return pullback, just looking at the entry, is poor, and I deserve to lose that trade. 37.75 and 36.75 are the places to trade. 42.75 is the place to short. This is a cheeky. Okay, I took a tick. I took two ticks on this, a two tick loss. This, um, the entry should be higher for a return pullback. My back should be against no man's land, the LVNs, upwards above 42.50. But because it didn't happen and I was antsy, meaning I was lacking patience. This is the second trade. Lacking a slow market. This is the second trade that I put on that I didn't really have much business putting on at all. And I got out for a two tick loss. Now we rally into no man's land. 42.25 would be a good place to short. I take a nap here probably up until 7:40 and then come back and finish the session. Why? Why did I take a nap? Because I was tired. Because I got up at 4:30. I didn't sleep very much. I pansied out. Okay. Yes, I know it was the wrong decision to make. I know. So it was really only 3 hours and 20 minutes of screen time instead of 4. I know. And then I changed the tick size from 2 to 4. I'm looking for 38 or 42.25 or 36.75. Okay, we come off 38. 38.25 sticks. Notice how 38 even is sticking now. Well, now 38, for a second 38.50 was going to stick. Now it's down to 25. Okay, now there's a jump in tape, which is good for me, but they still came down to 38 and sat on it. So there's movement up at 38.75, and it looks like it might hit me out. And it did. Okay, good read. Also, Stellar replaced to entry at 38 evens. Really, you'd enter here or here or here. So I agree with the area and the trade for the most part. There wasn't enough upticking for me personally. If I were to take it again, I'd want to see, realistically, this is a hard question. Realistically, I'd want to see them sit on 25 off of 38 evens, which requires context, I'd say. This is a bit of a zealous trade. It looks like I'm trying to catch a falling knife. We've already lost the distribution here. And we're playing around 35.75. There's no upside to this. So we're establishing a ceiling for what looks like a move lower, which is exactly what happens. That's a good scratch because this trade is in the middle of nowhere. I'm mildly irritated at myself. I mean, I'm actually very angry at myself, but it's only because it's late into the day. This is a good short, and it has the action I want. We're sitting on 75 now. It probably moves lower. The tape dries up at 31 even. Yeah, and then a seller steps in on the inside prints, and they push price lower. That one looks very stupid, but I get it. It's a momentum play at the thick spot. That's another, but this is a poor entry. Three poor entries from lack of boredom. Let me go here. I'm going to highlight this again. Yes, the trade won, and that's a viable trade to make as momentum play to the other side of the distribution. But that's not what I'm practicing, right? And I'd rather do the one over and over again. I'm working on return pullbacks. I'm fading the edges of these distributions. So realistically, it would be around 26.75 and 31.25. This one, I ride in the opposite direction for 8 ticks. Yeah, which is all right. It'll be a case study, I suppose. I'm watching the inside prints now. See how there's 30, there's 27 buy side 32.50, which isn't good. It was absorbed though, which is good. And then 5 trades, meaning the buyers are absorbed again. And it looks like sellers are launching an attack from the queue, not the inside prints. And then down to 25 and even, they launched an attack on the inside print. So active participants step in and they're looking for a way out. And I think when I noticed that, now we rewind. I wish I recorded this warning so I don't have to do this again. When I noticed that sellers are in control in the inside prints, print, I try to catch a short here down. I'm martingaling the same reversion trade, but it doesn't fill me. And then they come down to 30.75 and just sit there. The queue pulls, so it's primarily limit driven. There's 16 on 30.75, so they absorbed, and it looks like they're moving higher now. So buyers launch an attack effectively. 15 trades at 31.75. Buyers are stepping in again. I take a 2 tick loss, I think, and then price. But we're already pressing against the distribution. Price moves lower. So I scratched it too early. That was a trip though, riding 8 ticks and scratching for a 1 and scratching for a 2 tick loss. You know, there like no way in hell would I have done that a couple months ago. That's it. Am I recording this time? Yeah.